What are you making today, Miss Martha? Well, I'm making vegan meatloaf stuffed cabbage. If you'll give me just a second, I got a big pot of water here I've got to put on the boil for the cabbage, and I'll be right back. Hold on a second. All right, let's run through the ingredients while we're waiting for the water to come to boil. I've got a savoy cabbage, and I've got a regular green cabbage. I'm going to be using the outermost leaves, and we're not really going to cook them. We're just going to put them in some boiling water and almost take them right back out. I just want to make them pliable enough so I can make the cabbage rolls and stuff them with the meatloaf mixture here. And the rest of the cabbage I'm going to cook off, because you can do one of two things. You can either save it, put it away in the refrigerator. You can make coleslaw later to go inside of fish or barbecue that you're making. Or I'm going to go ahead and cook because my husband actually loves cabbage. So if you'll give me just a minute, I'm going to prep the cabbage, cut my oven on, preheat the oven, and I'll be right back. Finish going through the ingredients. I'm kind of disappointed in those cabbages. They're not like the kinds I used to grow in my garden. I had a hard time trying. I'm going to have to piecemeal my little cabbage leaves together. They didn't peel off like one little solid leaf like I wanted them to do. I'm kind of sad about that, but it's okay. It's going to taste fine, look pretty. Don't worry about it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to work with it. Life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. But let's get back to the other ingredients. I've got unsweetened almond milk, egg scramble substitute, flax meal, nutritional yeast, hemp heart seeds, breadcrumbs, sweet almond oil, black beans, salted roasted lentils, raisins, walnut pieces, and the star of the show of the vegan meatloaf, impossible meat made from plant-based protein. The seasoning that's going to go in the meatloaf, as well as going to go in the gravy, are vegetable bouillon concentrate, vegetable bouillon cubes, onion powder, garlic powder, basil leaves, a little paprika, and a little sea salt. Included in the stuffing of the cabbage leaves, I'm going to cook the minute rice according to the instructions with a little bit of the bouillon cubes in the minute rice, and once that is come soft, tender, edible, we're going to add some plant-based butter to that. So that's what's going to stuff our cabbage leaves. The topping, the gravy, so you have that meatloaf taste to it and feel like it's a Thanksgiving dish. It's like you could pretend it's turkey and gravy. I've got a low sodium vegetable broth, the same seasoning that's going to go into the meatloaf. I'm going to make a little slurry with cornstarch and water to thicken it up. So we'll take when the cabbage leaves have come to a boil, we're going to remove them, let them drain, and then we're going to lay out a portion of it, and we're going to make our gravy. We're going to cook our rice. So we'll have and mix up our meatloaf. We'll have all the components ready. We'll have the cabbage leaf. We'll put a little gravy in it. We'll put a little of the meatloaf mixture in it. We'll put a little of the cooked rice in it, and then we'll roll it up to a little roll, and we'll put them in our casserole dish to bake. As a side dish, alongside the baking meatloaf stuffed vegan cabbage rolls, we're going to use sweet potato. We're just going to stab them with a fork, wrap them in a noodles wrap, put them in the oven to bake. When they come out, we'll top them with a little plant-based butter, a little stevia, and a little pumpkin pie spice, and it tastes like it's a pumpkin pie. The leftover cabbage that I have that I'm not using to roll, I'll add the rest of the other cabbage, the mutilated cabbage, back into the pot and let it finish cooking. And so the house won't stink so bad. You know, Southerners, when you're cooking cabbage in the house, some people love the smell. My son, he'll go, oh God, just good cabbage. Some people don't. That's just, you add a little bit of the white wine vinegar, that'll tone down that smell, and a little sugar to it, to pickle it. I'm gonna pickle a little cabbage, because my husband loves cabbage. He'll come in, he'll think it's heaven when he smells it. So to each their own. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start moving stuff around here so I can get the rice on to boil, get my gravy mixed up so that I can simmer, and mix up the meatloaf portion of it. And by that time, the cabbages should be soft enough that we can come over here and we can roll it. So when you go get a cup of coffee, we'll pick back up in just a minute. If you haven't worked with the impossible meat before, let's open up and I'll show you. It's basically got the same texture. It's hamburger meat. How do they make it? I don't know. That's what's called impossible. All right, let's check in over here. Okay. Cabbage is boiling. Rice is going to be going on. Sauce is going to be going on. I got to mix up the meatloaf portion. Add the rice in to boil. Preheat the oven, so I'll be back. Okay, the sauce is simmering. The rice is ready. I've got the wet ingredients, I've got the meat ingredients, and I have the add-ins, which will go in last. So now it's just a matter of mixing with hands, mixing all the wet ingredients together, incorporating them in with the meat and the beans, and then have that. And then I'll have the meatloaf stuffing portion ready. The cabbage leaves their boil. They're cooling over here in the sink. So we rocking and rolling. Does your grandmama cook with rubber gloves on in her kitchen? I don't think so. I'm just cooking for my family. So don't sit there and say, when is she wearing gloves? I'm not cooking in a restaurant. I'm cooking for my family. Or maybe my close friends that eat over here all the time. So I don't have to wear gloves. They know that I'm a compulsive hand washer and keep my counter clean. Just because I got 4 chihuahuas, my chihuahuas aren't up here on the counter. Hygiene. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Okay, all my components are ready. As you can see, when you parboil a little cabbage leaf, it's more pliable. Let me go get me a spoon for the rice and a spoon for the meatloaf. Well, you know, impossible meatloaf. Plant-based protein. There we go. So we're going to take a heaping tablespoon, put our meat. We put our rice on top of that. Can you see? And then we're going to take our cabbage leaf, fold it over like that, fold it over like this. So I've made a little pouch. I'm going to put the folded side down in the pan, like so. And we're going to keep going till I fill the pan, and then I'm going to top it with the gravy. I'll top that with some of the little seeds from the everything bagel. So we'll get that in the oven to bake, and we'll add the sweet potatoes, wrap those in foil alongside with the bake. I gotta go see what the dogs are barking at, and then I will keep rolling out the cabbage. It's probably one of those Amazon orders of mine. I'll be back. Got a little assembly line going here. Vegan meatloaf stuffed cabbage leaves. Okay, we've got our cabbage rolls. Stuffed with vegan meatloaf and rice. We're going to chop them with our vegan meat gravy. I'll be back. Then we're going to add our everything bagel. It's vegan. Seeds on top. Going to 375-degree oven to bake for 45 minutes or so. Let me wrap those sweet potatoes so they can go in with them, and we'll pick back up. Okay, washed, rinsed off, and poked a hole in the sweet potatoes and wrapped them in foil, and they're going to go in the oven next to the vegan meatloaf stuffed cabbage rolls that are baking. I'm going to go ahead and put my plant-based butter back in the refrigerator because that doesn't need to sit out here on the counter. And when everything is ready to serve this sweet potato, we'll just slice it down the middle, put a little plant-based butter on it, a little bit of the stevia, and a little bit of the pumpkin pie spice. That's ready to go. The last thing Miss Martha needs to do is that leftover cabbage that didn't make cabbage rolls. Finish putting everything back in the pot. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of white wine vinegar, and let those finish boiling over there while everything's cooking in the oven. So there's no need for me to leave the video to keep playing. I'll just make the thumbnail be the finished dish. So thank you for watching. Now make sure you go down and you read the transcript, because maybe you have somebody that's coming over that's the vegan guest for your dinner party, or maybe you yourself. I'm trying to cook more vegan as much as I can. If I can change something out and not use egg and not use butter, if I can use, substitutes for that are plant-based, it's good for the environment, it's good for my health, lower my cholesterol, as well as for my family. So I've got a vegan biscuit. The recipe I'm going to show you here, because you can make a hot pocket. You can take the meat and you can stuff that in the vegan biscuit and bake that. And the kids that don't want to eat cabbage, they can have a hot pocket, a vegan hot pocket to eat. And I've got a blackberry compote that goes great with that biscuit. So even the people that are eating the cabbage rolls that aren't vegan, they're going to want to eat the biscuit with the compote, because that just so you're going to have to take your stuffing mix and divide that out in half. We'll go in with the make the biscuits, the hot pockets, and half will go over to make the cabbage rolls, because that's the way it rolls around here when I'm entertaining. So thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and God bless and happy Thanksgiving to you. This is not what I'm actually cooking for Thanksgiving. This is just a regular Thursday night at my house, and this is going to be our dinner when my husband and son, they get in from work. I'm just showing you. I didn't want you to panic if you find out all of a sudden that your son's coming home from college and he's bringing a vegan girlfriend home with him, and you're like, well, what am I going to serve her, a tossed salad? No, she wants an entree too, and this will be perfect for her. She'll love it, and she'll like the fact that you made an effort to include her in the family and make her feel welcome. So God bless you. Eat vegan when you can. I do as much as I can. I can't claim that I am a vegan, because I will get some McDonald's chicken nuggets to share with the little chihuahuas, but I'm doing better. Do better. That was easy peasy. Easy clean up. Let's check on what we got going over here. Okay. So we've got our leftover cabbage that didn't go in the cabbage rolls. It's boiling. We'll pickle that with a little white wine vinegar. Cabbage rolls and the sweet potatoes are baking in the oven. When they come out, we'll put a little bit of the Stevia, and pumpkin pie spice, and a little pat of plant-based butter on the baked sweet potato. Everything's good to go.